Hi everyone! So today I'm going to be talking about my color pencil journey. I know this is mainly a watercolor and painting channel, but you know what? We can have some interests in other areas of art supplies too, right? And recently I've been getting into color pencils and getting really interested in them. So let me start from the beginning. Basically, I wasn't really ever into color pencils, at least not that I know of. But then sometime last year in 2021, my local art store had a sale or like a clearance of sorts. So the bronzes were on clearance and I was just like, I'm gonna grab it. I'm going to grab it, and I did. But then the experience of using it just wasn't what I expected. To be honest, I actually thought they were artist grade just because of the collaboration with the museum, and the tin looks super nice. So yeah, that was just me being so naive and gullible and susceptible to marketing. Anyway, so I just left it at that and kind of forgot about color pencils. Then more recently, about several months ago, I think I was probably watching some mixed media videos and I was like, hey, color pencils seem to be sort of like the answer to what I want in my art process, which is basically after watercolor, instead of going with like a third or fourth layer of watercolor, people started using color pencils. And so I was like, hey, that's not a bad idea. And of course, I played with the pencils that I had and the bronzes, of course, and they weren't what I don't know, the experience wasn't nice. And so I dug in my supplies and I found this, which is like a long ago. It's just, a Faber-Castell set. Now, at this point, I didn't really care what watercolor pencils and color pencils, like what the differences were. Like, it's fine. They're all the same to me. They're just pencils. They're just colored pencils. Whether they're water soluble or not, it didn't really matter to me because it was going to be the last sort of the last layer to my artwork anyways. And yeah, so okay, there's a few missing here, but yeah. So as you can see, I haven't used it much. How long ago was this one? I've had this one in my stash forever. So this was manufactured in 2012. So yeah, this was a really long time ago. Anyway, that's when I seriously started looking into colored pencils and, maybe getting some open stock or a small set or something, like I wasn't even sure what I wanted yet. And then I started my research. You know how it goes, you do your research on whatever art supply you want. And I found that I do want softer pencils because I'm just weak. Like every time I use color pencils or color something for a long period of time, I felt like, my wrists, my elbows hurt. I think my joints just aren't very strong or healthy. I don't know. But yeah. So then I posted on my community tab like several months ago. You could probably see the date on the post. I'll put it up here somewhere, asking about Holbein. Now the reason I asked about Holbein is because when I was doing my research, the few ones that came up was Prismacolor and Holbein. So those two, Prismacolor and Holbein, seemed to be the one that people were saying that had the softest core. Now, Prismacolor, I started looking around and, I didn't dig deep, but it seems like I couldn't get Prismacolor at an affordable price. So I just forgot about it and, it's American based, so I didn't even think about it. But then I checked on Jackson's for Prismacolor and Holbein. They didn't have Prismacolor, but they had Holbein. And I was like, oh, Holbein, okay. And we use Holbein watercolors on our channel, and I do like Holbein as a brand for watercolors as well. So I was like, you know what? If their watercolors are good, then their pencils have to be good too. So that was my thought process when I posted that. And honestly, I didn't expect much. I just thought people would be saying how people say Viridian's really like low tinting, don't get that. You should really get the quinacridones, as in that's for watercolors, right? Those are like super pigmented, blah blah blah. So I was sort of like looking for something like that in the comments, to sort of, you know, steer me in the right directions of which ones to get and which ones to completely avoid. And that's what I was sort of after. But then a very generous and kind viewer by the name of Lark, hi Lark, offered to send me some swatches of Holbein, and oh my goodness, she sent me much more than what I expected, and I'm just blown away and extremely grateful for her generosity. So I mean, whenever it comes to these things, I'm just like really touched by, like, you know, people's generosity in general, and you know, yeah. Thank you, Lark. Like, this really means a lot, and I'm really grateful for it. I will say though, this isn't an unboxing. I've already unboxed this, of course, and she sent me much more than this, but these are the things that I wanted to cover today because I wanted to focus on color pencils and just pencils in general. Lark actually sent me some watercolors and, oh, the pipette. Oh, I'm gonna be using the pipette a lot. But yeah, so today, this is what I wanted to show you guys and show you sort of talk through what my color pencil journey is like and probably going to be. So that's sort of something if you're interested in. So you can continue watching if that's what you're interested in. If not, you could tune out. That's totally fine. But yeah, so basically, she sent me some color pencil swatches. So these are extremely cool. So there's color pencil swatches and watercolor pencil swatches, which I did not expect at all because I wasn't looking into watercolor pencils, right? Now, this is something else totally, and I will show you in a bit, but I wanted to take a look at the swatches first. So I've actually started like, okay, wait, hang on. I'm sorry, please wait a moment. So she actually sent me, like, okay, so this is her actual swatch chart for me for Holbein, the whole 150 color set, the full complete set of Holbein color pencils. And what I did was I scanned it and I basically photocopied it, and then so I could write down notes of what colors I like, or what colors are the same in another brand, or what colors that are unique and you know, unique to those certain brands, something like that. So yeah, that's why these look the same, but this one is one where she swatched out herself. Not sure if you could see the difference. But yeah, anyways, so there's Holbein, that's the full set of Holbein. And then we have the full set of Prismacolor. And then we have Colorsoft, Derwent's Colorsoft, the whole 72 color range. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, these are just some of my other notes. This is just printed from online. I don't remember whose this is from. Some other notes of mine. Okay, those are my notes. And then this is Prismacolor again, on white and on black. Like, how do you see how meticulous that is, and like how much care and time consuming this must have been? Like, oh my goodness, thank you so much, Lark. Like honestly, like, oh, I really don't know what to say. Like, this is so useful. Okay, so this is just the first page. I think there's 3 pages if I remember correctly. And the reason I actually asked Lark if she could swatch on black as well, because I specifically wanted to know which colors are opaque on like dark backgrounds, because I like using dark colors like phthalo turquoise on, you know, like watercolor backgrounds, things like that. So opaque colored pencils are sort of what I'm interested in. So yeah, so I did ask Lark to do that, and this is perfect. Like, and she even like, look at this. for every page. Now, I totally messed this up, so I'm sorry about that, but the care that went into it is like she put these like, you know, just a plain piece of paper so that the swatches don't smudge, you know? And here's the blues and the violets and some turquoises. So that's page 2. And then here's page 3. And then honestly, I'm so stupid. Do you guys see this? Like, let me show you. Do you see this? This says over, right? And I'm honestly so stupid. I saw this and I thought it was sort of like, you know, the end, like it's over, right? So that's what I saw. But then when I was doing like my color comparisons for each brand and stuff, I was like, wait, doesn't Prismacolor have black in their range? And like, are some colors missing? And I was like, oh, you know what? Like maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't think too much of it at the time, but then this is what happened. I was looking through and stuff like that, and then this sort of like fell off the table, and then it went like this. And I was like, oh, those are where all the other colors are. Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid, honestly. So it means like turn it over. Okay, that's not Lark's fault, guys. That's just me being stupid. Okay, so there's Prismacolor on black and white. And what else do we have? I thought that was it. Oh, and we have this one. This is Holbein. The whole set of Holbein on black. And you're gonna be like, wait, that's not in order. That's okay. I actually told Lark, like, it's fine. You don't need to label everything. As long as I could identify it, I'm good, right? And like, do you guys see just like, just measuring out this grid would have taken forever. And like, I know, I just want to say, like, I can see the care that went into it and how much time went into this. So honestly, like, super grateful, and really, like, thank you very much. I know how much time went into this, and I appreciate it. And like, okay, can we just pause for a second and say that Holbein has to be one of the most opaque color pencil ranges out there? I'm just amazed. Now, not just Holbein. I'll talk about it in a bit. Actually, I'll put Holbein up here with the Holbeins. Okay, and then I think lastly, yeah. So for the last one is Faber-Castell Polychromos, and then this is their full range of 120 color pencils. Yeah, and then also on black as well. Okay, so that's it for showing you for now. And then I want to talk about these pencils. I'm gonna get to the watercolor pencil swatches in a bit, so please hang in there with me. Oh, you guys, do you see this? So these loose leaf plastic sleeves actually came from Lark herself, and look. Do you see what that says? Like, it says Office Depot. Do you say depot or depot? That's America, right? Like, I saw that and I'm like, ooh, I have a small thing from America. I don't know. I just find that really like, yay, I got stuff from America. Okay, I mean, like, you know, I can go to the grocery stores and probably buy something that's been imported from America, but like, you know, I don't have anything from Office Depot. And, you know, several years ago, I watched a lot of like American vlogs, and everyone goes to Office Depot apparently. So that's just something I found really intriguing. Anyway, moving on. Before we get to the watercolor pencil swatches, I'm gonna turn this around so it's not distracting. This is also by Lark, and I just want to say she hand pound flowers onto this, flowers and leaves. And like, oh my goodness, I saw this and I was like, this is so beautiful. And so time consuming, but so beautiful. This is so amazing, honest. I really like this one, and I really like this whole section here because it's like violet-y, and this one looks like a sunflower. So beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? This one also looks like a sunflower. It's just like, and you know, like the arrangement, the placement of each, what do you call it? Each petal, leaf, you know what I mean. But like, isn't it so cool? Okay, so anyways, getting too distracted. I'm easily distracted. So she actually had some other stuff inside, which, you know what, I'll put some pictures up on screen. I did take some pictures when I was unboxing, so yeah, you can take a look and you be like, ooh ah, just like how I was when I first opened it. Okay, so this is like, this has saved me a lot of buying and trying things that I do not like or would have not liked. And I gotta say, if anyone does this for anyone, it's I feel like it's such a blessing for me. So honestly, thank you so much, Lark. Like really, this has helped so much. And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even know where to have started if people just told me what colors to buy and not to buy from that community post. I would probably have just bought like a few open stock on Jackson's and that would be that. But this has sort of like, you know, introduced me into the whole world of color pencils, and it's a whole world that I didn't even know I was interested in, at least not as much as I am now. And look, ta-da! Is everything on screen? Sorry. So yeah, ta-da! Lark sent me all these pencils to try, guys. So we have polychromos, and we have, actually, I should tell you the colors too, right? So polychromos, this is light cobalt turquoise. This is Holbein Triton green. This one is Caran d'Ache luminance violet 120. These two are Prismacolor. I love these two. Powder blue and Deco pink. This one is Derwent Colorsoft Deep Fuchsia. This one is Derwent Artists Imperial Purple. And then these 2, 4, 5. These 5 here are water soluble, and these 4 here are water soluble. So this one is the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 Aquarelle. What does it say? What color is it? Pink? Just pink. And then this one is Museum Aquarelle, Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle, Prussian blue. And then this green one here is Caran d'Ache Supra Color 2 Soft, Spruce Green. I like that one too. This one is Derwent Inktense Sun Yellow. And we have the last one, Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. Is that how you say it? Helio Turquoise. So these last 5, everything after the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2, I'm not going to look too deep into just yet because I want to take a look at colored pencils first, and then I want to do the watercolor pencils at a later time. So when I got these, I actually sort of not really blindfolded myself and sort of tried which one would be like, you know, the softest, because I'm not really too familiar with each of the barrels and like which one is which brand and all that. So I was like, I need to do this as sort of like a first impressions sort of thing, and that's what I did. And this is what happened. So this page here is the result of my color pencil swatches and like first impressions, how I like, you know, how I was testing it out and all that. And as you can see, Prismacolor was like my #1 choice. Like, oh my goodness. Honestly, I didn't think that I would be able to tell the difference, or like, I wasn't sure if I would be able to feel the difference because I don't have a lot of experience with colored pencils in general. So I wasn't sure if like a complete newbie like me would be able to tell any difference at all. But you know what? I can. Maybe not as sensitive as you experts out there or people who are more experienced, but I can definitely tell like some obvious differences. So with the Prismacolor, these two, the powder blue and deco pink, I absolutely love it because it felt like I was coloring with oil pastels. And I love that. It's like, I understand now when people say it's creamy and soft and just blendable, like absolutely love. So Prismacolor is my #1 now. Okay, and the second one that I actually like, oh, by the way, Prismacolor is also my #1 choice right now because it's also, most of the colors are opaque on black, and I really like that. And the second brand that sort of like came second for me is Holbein, because most of the range that I showed earlier, most of the colors in the range are also opaque on black. And I actually really like the lay down feel. Like, it's soft, but it's crumbly, but you know, like I don't think I would mind the crumbliness too much. It's obviously not as soft as Prismacolor, but I feel like it's the second softest out of the bunch here. But Holbein is rather expensive, so we'll talk about pricing later. And despite people saying that Derwent Color Soft is like soft, I don't think I'm really into Derwent Color Soft. Like, I don't know, personally for me, nothing stood out very much. I felt that Holbein was a lot softer somehow. I don't know if a lot of you will agree or disagree. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, I'm not really experienced with these, but these are just my first impressions of, like, you know, just the one color pencil. So yeah, but Derwent Color Soft also isn't like #1 on my list because after looking at their range, like the swatches that Lark sent me, their range seems to be a little bit on the muted side. Like, the colors aren't very vibrant somehow. I find that Faber-Castell Polychromos, the colors in their whole range are much more vibrant, and I much prefer vibrant colors, so that's why I'm not really into Derwent Color Soft, even though it's a soft core. And then there's Caran d'Ache Luminance, where a lot of people say that it's like, you know, top tier, and I think I'm just not experienced enough to understand the subtle nuances of it. So I was told that Caran d'Ache Luminance and Derwent Lightfast sort of behave similarly, or sort of like feel similar. So I don't know. What did I write? I said drier, so crumbly, but you know what? After that, I did play with it some more after this page, and I just feel like I do feel like it's nice to color with, but I'm just not sure what it is. Like, I can't tell if it's hard, if it's soft or not. Like, it's just something I'm not yet sure about, and I'm not sure if it's just this one color or something, but we'll see. Because it's also an expensive product, like probably the most expensive apart from Holbein, so I'm not really in a rush to look too into it, you know what I mean? And then we have Faber-Castell Polychromos, which, to be honest, like, it was the first one I tried out of this bunch because I just went in order from like this side to this side, and so I wasn't really sure what I was, like, you know, comparing it with. It became my standard, and what that meant was, however it performed, I just took that as standard. But I did feel like it, like, I know people say that Faber-Castell Polychromos are oil-based, but, you know, oil-based, wax-based, I don't really know what that means, sort of. But, like, I really like how polychromos, like, it just glides on the paper. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I like the feeling of it laying down on the paper despite it being a hard core. Like, yes, it's harder. It's a lot harder than Prismacolor, but I quite like the woo, 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 you know what I mean? That's bad sound effect, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Like, for those of you who do use polychromos, the only thing that I don't like about polychromos is that their whole range that I looked from Lark's swatches is that it's very translucent, and I'm not really looking for translucent at this time. I'm much more into the opaque, but if I do end up looking for like a translucent, or if I don't mind opaque or transparent sets, colors and all that, then I might look into Faber-Castell polychromos later on, but at this point maybe not. But yeah, I actually really like it. Now, coming to the barrels, I actually love like barrels like these where it shows the color of the pencil itself, of the pigment. It indicates the color of what you're gonna color with, and that's what I like. And I specifically like these like capped ends, or like dipped ends, I think. I'm not sure what you call it. So yeah, like I feel like dipped ends are just more, I don't know, it feels like artist grade, whereas these non-dipped or non-capped ends, you know, feels cheaper to me, at least. That said, I still really like how Prismacolor performed and how it just feels in general, like, and it's so soft. It's so good for my hands and joints. I'm amazed. And Derwent Artists, so Lark specifically sent me this to, oh wait, this is Color Soft. This is Artists. So Lark specifically sent this to me so I could compare that, sort of like to tell me that this is what a hard pencil feels like. And now that I've felt it and experienced it, oh boy, is it so hard and so dry. Like, see, I even wrote so dry, and everyone gets, all of these gets hearts, right? But this is like an X because it's just so dry. It's not working out. But yeah, so thank you so much, Lark, for like parting with this one, just to let me know how it feels. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into the watercolors so much yet. You could take a look at my notes yourself if you're interested. Well, I guess I could touch on it a little bit. So we have the Albrecht Dürer, Derwent Inktense, Supercolor, and Museum Aqua. I will say that I didn't really look into watercolor pencils yet. I was mainly looking into just normal color pencils. But then as soon as I swatched these out, like I did this, right? I colored the pencil on, and then I used a wet brush to go over it. And oh boy, these artist grade watercolor pencils are so much better than student grade or beginner grades. Like, oh my goodness, like if you see that, you do not know that a pencil was the cause of that pigment. I mean, like, okay, over here, maybe a little. And out of all these 4 and 5, if you count the Neo Color, I was most surprised and like most wowed by Derwent Inktense. So for my notes up here are what I thought about the laydown of the pencil. So this was kind of soft when I colored it down, and this Derwent Inktense was a bit sticky. This has a nice feel, similar feel. Both the Caran d'Ache felt similar. And then after I did the wet brush over it, this was like, ooh, this was like love. This is like, ah, so-so. And this is like, ooh, ah, because the color was like really intense. But yeah, some drying shift there. But yeah, overall out of these 4, this one as well. So 5 sort of water-soluble products. I was and am most interested in Derwent ink tints. So I think once I get more into watercolor pencils, I'll need to, like, you know, I'll probably have like this bias towards Derwent ink tints. And yeah, I never really looked into ink tints just because it's, you know, supposedly ink and not pigment. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like, I really like how vibrant it was and how easily it was really easily soluble. Easily dissolved. So yeah, okay, let's move on. I'm so sorry for talking so much today. Oh, before we move on, actually, I wanted to show you this page. So this here on the side is just basically me doing some, like, what do you call it? Burnishing, right? Burnishing. Just how it feels to do the burnishing, and overall I pretty like all of them. This is the color soft. I actually really like the color. To be honest, Lark did an extremely good job at like sending me all these because I love all of them. But the ones I loved most was from Prismacolor, and so I used the powder blue and deco pink to draw this little guy, girl, don't know, bunny or something, probably a bunny. Anyway, so I drew that, and then I used the Derwent Color Soft fuchsia, I think, deep fuchsia, to sort of like do the shadows. And then I used polychromos and Holbein to do sort of like a frame around it, you know, just to try to do something. Yeah. And yeah, I really liked that. Like, it's not perfect, but I was able to sort of, you know, try to use it to create art. Yeah, okay, moving on. We have the watercolor pencil swatches. So the reason I left this for last is because look at that. Not only, so basically Lark swatched me some colors from, this one is Caran d'Ache Super Color 2 Soft. Is there a Super Color one? I haven't looked into this, so I'll need to look into it, but I feel like I also don't want to look into it too much. I just want my first impressions to be sort of like, you know, unbiased towards knowledge, like information that I research, you know, so I might try to avoid looking into it first. But yeah, so she did some swatches for me, and all I need to do is go over it with a wet brush to see how it activates and all that. And see, this is the empty space for the spruce green that she sent as well. So we have that. That's one brand. This is Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. This is the second brand. Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2. Isn't she so nice to leave a blank for the one that she sent? Is that 3? That's probably 3. 4 Derwent ink tints. So beautiful. Do you notice? I'm noticing that Derwent ink tints, the colors here are pretty like dark, but then I think once you activate it, it's like it becomes vibrant, right? And then I think this is the last one, Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle. So this is the 5th one and last one. So I have here like 5, so as you can see, I have like 5 brands of swatch charts to activate and go through. And I'm really excited to go through all of these and activate them and actually like know which colors I like. Like I really don't know much about watercolor pencils yet, or water soluble products, pencil products. So for these watercolor pencil swatches, I'm not sure how I'm going to do them yet. You know what? Let me sort of do a conclusion. So to summarize my color pencil thoughts and sort of like my first impressions for now, and how I feel towards it right now, my number one has to be Prismacolor. Prismacolor, like, it's so soft, the colors are so beautiful, and I saw the swatch chart of like the 150 set, so beautiful. Prismacolor is really hard to get in Thailand. I think some art shops sell it, maybe like a few art shops sell it for like super overpriced, and I was only able to find like a couple independent sellers who sort of like, I guess they import the product themselves and then sell it online, sort of like Etsy, you know? So it's not always there, but my plan is, if I can, I want to try to at least buy like the 72 set and maybe buy open stock from there. But like, I really like the pastel colors, but most of the pastel colors are in the larger ranges, like 132 and 150, which is so many colors and so expensive. So I'm not sure what to do with that yet. My second choice is Holbein, and Holbein is even much more expensive. So honestly, I'm not sure like how to go about it yet, but I think I've narrowed it down to basically these two brands, Prismacolor and Holbein. Prismacolor, and this is Holbein. Obviously I like the look of Holbein more, but that really doesn't play a role to how it functions. So yeah, between these two brands, Holbein and Prismacolor, I think it'll just come down to which brand I can find at a better price, or if I could get a good deal. I might wait for like a sale sometime somewhere, we'll see. But yeah, so that's that for my color pencils. So at this point, I've basically decided that I'm gonna be getting a set of Prismacolor or Holbein, or maybe like a large set of Prismacolor and then open stock for some Holbein colors, specifically their pastels, because, you know, and I'm not gonna get a set. I think I'm gonna get open stock for Holbein, because Holbein is just so expensive. Even for Thailand, it's so expensive. Basically, Jackson's is cheaper. So yeah, there we have it. So I'm set on Prismacolor being my number one choice. And yeah, Faber-Castell Polychromos, I honestly really like that too. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm tempted to get Polychromos, a set of Polychromos, just for coloring, not mixed media, you know? Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see. But Prismacolor is so, like, you guys, now I understand why everyone talks about Prismacolor. It's the best. All right, as for these water-soluble products, I think I'm going to try to swatch these, like film me swatching these and my first impressions on them, in case you want to follow my journey. And to be honest, I also want to sort of like document my own unbiased impressions on these, so that I could always go back and watch myself how I initially thought about each brand of water-soluble product. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that in the hopefully upcoming videos. We'll see. Yeah, I'm really excited to try these, and you know, I'm not sure like how many sets I'm gonna buy. Probably not a lot, because, you know, budgets, right? We all have budgets. But yeah, so like, for example, the color pencils, I want a set of Prismacolor, I want Holbein, I want Polychromos, but you know, we can't have it all. So yeah, so I'll need to go through one by one and probably, like, you know, we'll whittle down my choices. But so far, can I just say, I'm having a lot of fun with these. Like Lark said that, like, you know, I'll probably have hours of fun with these, but I have spent much more than just hours. I have spent more than 24 hours going over these things, like over and over again, and it is so fun, honestly. Like, Okay, I'm gonna tell you, currently I've been looking at the color charts for Prismacolor and Holbein to see which ones that, which colors in Holbein Prismacolor already has, and which ones that I want in Holbein that aren't in Prismacolor, so then I could just get those ones like open stock. And yeah, I think it should work out. Okay, so I've spoken for like almost an hour now, and it's a long time. I need a break. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed listening to me talk about my color pencil experience and sort of like the beginning of this journey of mine. And you know, like, honestly, like, thank you again, Lark, for sending me these. It's like honestly so much help, and you you have and will be going to saving me a lot of money. Honestly, I'm just tempted to, like, you know, pool my whole color pencil budget into one big set of Prismacolor, but you know, that's not really possible. I mean, if Prismacolor was like so easily readily available, I would just, you know, go all in with Prismacolor, but at this point it's not really possible. Like, I had this one vendor, this one independent seller that I was looking at that was selling Prismacolor sets for a decent price. Like, you know, obviously it's been imported and the price was marked up a bit, but I was still like, you know, like, understandable price. But then they sold the product, and so now they don't have that product, the larger set. They only have, like, you know, the 36 set and 48 set and the 12 sets and stuff like that. So I'm not really looking at those smaller sets. I don't know if they're gonna have the larger sets again available anytime soon. So it's just something that I'll need to sort of, like, you know, scour the web for more sellers or something. Like, we'll see. I feel like I dug deep already. I might have to wait for them to import it. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, but that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and like, thank you so much, Lark, for all these supplies and like the swatches. The swatch charts have honestly been so helpful, and I'll go through these when I can. I mean, it's a lot. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do, like, you know, one over one weekend, and this is gonna take me like at least over a month, because it's what, it's 5 sets, right? So 5 sheets, 5 color charts, so 1 per weekend is a lot. Anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Lark, for sending these again, and I think that's all I have to say for today. And as per usual, I don't know how to end these, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to drink lots of water and stay hydrated.